Our next guest is one of the toughest athletes around. He's got a pro boxing record of 3-0 and is an Olympic medalist.
To your winner from the blue corner.
Off the air, Jace was saying he can take him. So, everyone, welcome to the show, Harry Garside. And also, Harry, here's the bell. We're looking for a knockout. Let's go.
Oh, that backfired. Harry Garside! Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me in.
And welcome home.
I know, it's been like 4 days. I'm still getting over the jet lag a little bit, but I had about 10 beers at the footy with my dad last night, so
yes.
we did enjoy it, and I slept like a baby last night.
That's one way to help sleep like a baby, isn't
Oh,
it?
good
So you've
man.
only been back from Paris for 4 days. What did you do when you were out of the games in Paris?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Boxing usually goes for the 2 weeks, so obviously I planned on staying in comp for the whole time, but I was out quite early, so I got like 10 days to sort of eat bad food and have some red wine and spend some time with family and friends, and me and Stanners had a good night out, and we had a bit of fun on that night. Mum was getting on the porn star martinis, which was
They're
really
very
fun.
good.
Can you do a dramatised reenactment of how your mum ordered the drinks in the bar, please?
Another porn star for the porn star. I'm like, Mum, geez, we're in public.
Your parents are electric. I loved spending that dinner with them.
They look like a lot of fun.
Can I just quickly add to that? So after dinner, now keeping in mind I had to be up very early the next morning to report on, I don't know where I was going.
Oh, the rock climbing or
athletics,
something.
Probably the climbing.
Yeah. The
Anyway, there was a
events.
group of 6 or 7 of us. The old nightclub situation. Do you remember this, Harry? We went to
Briefly,
a
yes.
nightclub. 4 got in, 3 didn't.
Oh, who didn't
Who
get
didn't
in?
get in?
I didn't get in.
Oh, not in those shoes, champ.
We left him.
Why?
Did you leave him?
They left me.
What about the bro code?
I think I did come back out, didn't I? Scotty didn't want to come. One of our good mates, Scotty Bradley, he didn't want to go back out. I'm like, I can't, mate. They're here for me.
Yeah, you can leave clean.
I can do the right
so
thing.
who else didn't get in? Did Mum and Dad get in?
Nah, they were out. To be
I was
honest,
going to
They
say,
were
the
out a
way
long
Mum
time
was
ago.
ordering drinks, she can't get in.
I think she's still at the cocktail
Yeah,
bar right,
right.
now.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, we played some of your post-fight interview before, and I actually played I've got 3 young boys, 10, 8 and 2, but the 10 and the 8-year-old actually played the interview to them during the games. For how, I don't think I've ever seen someone just be so raw and honest in a moment like that, mate. Bringing up mental health, the fear of how you're going to feel over the next couple of weeks and stuff like that. In the clip, you say, you've let everyone down. In no way did you let everyone down. You were an absolute inspiration over there, Harry.
Yeah, it's I think the highs and lows of sport, the raw emotion, I definitely do find myself at times chasing that sometimes, like to actually feel in my body. And in that moment, obviously looking back in retrospect, it was pretty painful and pretty tough when you're in it. But like looking
Did you have
back,
a lot of people reach out though? You must open your DMs and just been like...
It's honestly unbelievable. Like I feel like it's weird to lose and fail and get a massive hug from Australia. It's very strange,
Yeah.
and I definitely feel that.
Did you feel that? Because that interview was played so many times in Australia. While you were in France, you probably maybe don't understand the gravity of how much that meant to people hearing, because we learn so much more in defeat than we do in winning quite often. And I think you taught kids so much more than any gold medalist could in that moment. It was quite amazing.
Yeah, that's a big thing for me. I know growing up, like I thought that like success was always going to be the thing that would like make me feel better about myself. But I don't know, like I remember sitting in quarantine after Tokyo bronze medal, and that was a success, right? I wasn't expected to do that. And I sat there and I still looked at myself in the mirror and I was still unhappy. And it's like...
Compare that to the moment after you opened your DMs and took all the feedback from what you said.
That's the thing, right? Like, it's like no success or no, materialistic thing, no thing outside your body will make you feel better about yourself. And I want young people to sort of realize that, although it is important to like go on these long journeys, and in that journey you'll realize like how big you can and how capable and how, I don't know, strong you are throughout that journey. And I have learned that throughout my Olympic process, but like no gold medal or no winning or no money will actually change anything.
Yeah.
Since Tokyo, Harry, you spent sort of the best part of 3 years visualising winning gold, right? Visualisation was such a big thing. So how does the mind work post-Paris? You're 27 years of age. What are you thinking about now, or is it too early to start thinking about not so much what's next, but how you get your head around the next challenge?
Are you 27?
Just turned 27, yeah.
We're old.
Jesus, I hate young, successful people. We really need to get our lives in order, Loz.
You guys are doing great. That's a good question, Clint. I don't really know what's next. I find myself having little moments where I'm back in my body and I actually feel emotion, which is nice. But I feel like I have very much disconnected from myself a little bit since I lost. So I each
But that's
day.
okay. I think we all do.
Yeah.
Of course, I think it's a weird thing, like feeling that, and sometimes when I watch that interview, it takes me back in, like that post-match, that intensity.
Yeah.
But I think once I felt that, and I did it in public, there was like something that just come over my body. It was like, oh, you can't do that again. Like just like sort of
Yeah.
like just, and I've gone into autopilot. So I think as I said, each day that goes by, I'm staying with my family now, so I can sort of be myself a bit more around them. And I don't know, I feel like I'm getting back into my body slowly, and then when I do that, I think I can figure out what's next.
Do you get back in the like? Are you training? Or are you just having a rest?
Always train. I love
Always
to train.
training.
Yeah, I love to train. I think it's
Same.
more so for my mind, to be honest. I've got a crazy manic mind. So I always love to train, always try and do 1, maybe 2 sessions a day, and then, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about kids, right, who play sport. And there's been this kind of movement recently, and I don't have kids, so I might be wrong here, where like sports doesn't have a winner and a loser. But is it important as kids and growing up to learn that you don't win all the time? Do you
Yeah.
think that's important?
100%. Like life will knock you down a number of times, and sometimes it's your fault and sometimes it's not. And I think I don't know, I think it's really important to get in the arena and sometimes have hardcore embarrassment, hardcore failure, and feel that, and then get back up and sort of dust yourself off eventually. And I know strive for something bigger, and in that process you realize how capable and how big you are and how strong you are. And I don't know, sometimes you need life to just level you and humble you and sit you on your ass. And I felt that, right? And it's like, but I will get better. I'll get back up. I'll shoot for something bigger. And I want young people obviously to be scared of failure, but like know that it's inevitable, right? It is just all
And
part
it's
of
not the
it.
end of the world. Because there'd be a lot of kids in cars right now on the way to school who might not have won footy or sport on the weekend who would be feeling pretty flat. What would you say to them?
How you perform in sport or in any profession that you choose to do doesn't change who you are as a person. Although it is really important to get into the arena and have a crack.
There you go.
What I love, because you've got the book, Harry Garside, The Good Fight, is out.
You're an author, Harry.
How about that, mate? I can't even read.
So I'm just reading. I'm reading the crayon writing right now. What I
Is this
love.
an AI
Hey,
job?
this is awesome. I'm going to use this as a tip. You know how it's like all your mates will normally be like, "Give us a shout out in the book. Give us a shout out." He's put, "For those in my inner sanctum, you know who you are."
That's
Yeah.
very broad, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, you won't
that's
offend
right.
anyone with
So when
that.
your mate Barry rings and he's like, "Did I get a shout out?" You're like, "Yeah,
Sure,
mate.
mate.
You're in the
You're
inner
in
sanctum."
inner sanctum.
And for
Sure
anyone
do.
who's grabbing life by the horns, keep it up.
Yeah.
It's a good message.
Good on
But
you.
Harry, I asked you this in the moments after Paris. I said, "Is your heart full?" And I loved your response. Is your heart full right now?
Oh, that is a good question, Clint. It is actually. I throughout the process, I woke up on New Year's Day and Olympic year, no relationships, no nothing, all gold medals, and I actually fell in love throughout that process. So, my partner is currently living in London, so I am currently partially like not full because she is away from me. But
Oh, you're
at the
loved up.
At the same time, I am pretty madly in love. Like I think in that like love is way more important than sport. And
How long
I
have you been
don't-
together?
It's very fresh.
Oh, was this
Oh,
a
no
Tinder
wonder you
job when
stayed
you were
in Paris for
overseas?
so long.
Just a little Tinder job
No,
at the
she
games?
is Australian, which is nice, and I met her on New Year's Eve. So I've known her all this year, and she's sort of been there throughout the highs and lows. But yeah, I can't wait for her. She
Was
gets
this,
back in November, which
Hey,
is
was this,
exciting.
if it was New Year's Eve, was this like it's 11:59, I'm just going to happen to stand next to her when that clock hits midnight?
She was a good looker, but I actually
Please.
left before midnight because I wanted to wake up that
fresh.
morning and be Olympic year. So, but
Well, you've
she's
broken
amazing.
my heart because I've got a massive man crush
Yeah.
on Harry
Oh,
Garside.
yeah.
Everyone's got a crush on
Hey,
Harry Garside. And you're also a ballerina.
Oh, a very average one. I feel sometimes I'm like, I've done like maybe 60 classes in my life. So people classify me as a ballerina. I'm like, I'm still so
Works
I'm
for the
rolling
headline.
with it.
Hey,
I'm rolling with it.
Just quickly, give us a snapshot of the book, Harry Garside, The Good Fight.
For me, it was just all of it's like very much about my search for my manhood and the lessons that I've learned in that. I felt, what do we see on movies? What do we see on our TV screens growing up? We see this big, tough bloke, and that's what you have to live up
Yeah.
to, right? And I think it was my search for my manhood and then realizing that I think manhood comes in many different forms. And then in that, just like my growth throughout that and discovering that. And it's like, I think there's lessons for obviously young boys and men, but definitely for all people as well.
Hey, at the risk of sounding like Maura from Good Morning Australia, good Father's Day gift.
Great Father's Day
Father's-
gift.
Nice.
When
Did
is
you do
Father's
the
Day?
Did you do the audio book? Did you record it?
I'm not going to lie, I did try Clint, but I definitely did get reminded that I can't read. So
It's all right,
You wrote the book.
You can't be good
I
at
wrote the
everything.
book, but
You
I
can't
sat-
read your own writing?
Honestly,
Could be ad-libbing.
It was actually really hard. I'm not going to lie. I sat there for 45 minutes to try
Don't
and get
expect
through
me to
one
read it if
page.
you can't read.
There was an audiobook version. I just didn't read it.
Right.
Yeah. That's okay. Prince Harry didn't do his
No,
either.
good call.
Oh, no,
Good call.
he did do his own, didn't
Oh, no.
he? Britney Spears didn't do
Yes,
hers.
thank you. We love Brittany.
Yeah, we love Britney.
She's a
Leave
mess.
Britney alone.
Harry Garside, The Good Fight. Harry, welcome back to Australia. You did us bloody proud over there, mate. It's good
Love
to
you,
see
Harry.
Thanks heaps, guys.
Good on you, mate.
Gonna be a good day. Jason Lauren. Jason Lauren.
Wake up feeling good.
On Nova 100.
Jason Lauren.
Follow them on socials. Nova.